Hey everybody, it's Rob with Cherry City Guns and Ammo, and today I'm going to show you how to not shoot your truck hood. Stick around. Okay, so we'll tell you a little story. My daughter and I, we drew antelope tags for Ochiko unit here in Oregon this year, and we had a major breakdown in the middle of our trip, and we were very lucky to have a couple of fellow hunters rescue us, and they were driving us back into town so we could figure out how to get our truck fixed and all that kind of stuff. And while we're driving along down this logging road, a rock chuck pops up on the passenger side. Like this little guy right here. Recognize that? It's a rock chuck. Or a wood chuck. I guess it depends if you find them near rocks or near woods. Anyway, this rock chuck pops up on the passenger side of the vehicle. Driver gets out because he decides to shoot it with his .270 that he was using for antelope hunting. I'm in the back seat on the passenger side, and I'm watching, waiting to see this rock chuck kind of, pop. And he shoots, and I see the rock chuck just turn around and kind of waddle off. And I was like, well, that's weird. How'd he miss it at like 20 yards? And he walks around the front of his truck to go and see where this rock chuck went. And he realized the reason he missed the rock chuck is he shot the hood of his truck. Now you might say, how in the world do you shoot the hood of your truck? Well, a lot of people don't pay attention to the fact that you have a lot of distance between the center line of your scope and the center line of your bore. And while it doesn't really make a difference at 100 yards, at 2 feet, let's say, it can make a big difference. You could have something not in your scope that is directly in front of your muzzle. So I actually have his hood. So let's take a look at it. Alright, so this is his truck hood. And that is right there is where he shot with his .270. And then some of the pieces came up here and dented and popped some paint off there. Luckily, he only lives about 35 minutes from me, and he was nice enough that when he took his truck in to get the hood replaced, he said, hey, I've got somebody that might want to shoot that hood. Save it for me. And you look here, so that's where it came through. Had another little ding there. Have another little dent there. And then some little tiny little, dented spots that pop the paint off. So yeah, we're going to play around with this thing. We're going to recreate the accident, show how easy it is. And then we're going to shoot it with some other stuff just for fun. But yeah, this is an aluminum hood, so it probably won't stop a whole lot because it's just aluminum. But we're going to do it anyway because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to recreate what happened. Now, because it's sitting on a short table, I'm going to have to drop to a knee. But we're shooting a .270, just like what this truck was, or this truck hood was already shot with. And so what I'm going to do to show how easy it is, I'm going to get to where I can see the hood in the scope, and I'm going to raise up till I just lose sight of the hood. So that way I'm just seeing the hill behind me. And this is a great big hill with thousands and thousands of acres of woodland behind it, so there's no worry about where this is going to go if it bounces off the hood. But yeah, I'm just going to raise up till I can't see it anymore and shoot and see if we can pretty much recreate what happened. Okay, so I see the hood. I come up till I just can't see it anymore. Right there. Right. Well, maybe it's a little harder to recreate than I thought. Because I didn't hit it. Let's see. You know what? Maybe if I'm zoomed in, that'll create a smaller field of view. Okay, see the hood? I don't see it anymore. Yep, there we go. So I wonder if he was actually zoomed in when that happened. Because zoomed out, you've got obviously a much bigger field of view. And I totally went right over top of it. I zoomed way in, narrowed my field of view, and got pretty similar results. There's smoke coming out of this thing. Let me put the gun down. We'll go look at it a little more up close. All right, let's take a look here. So this was the hole that he did. This is the hole that I did. You can see kind of in line with my bullet path, there's a couple little dents with the paint popped off. Big one there. I think that I was shooting at a shallower angle than he was. So let's take a look underneath. So there's where his blew through. There's where mine blew through. And then mine hit up here, hit up there. We ended up going into the table right here. And I dug around trying to see if there was bullet. But I think by then it was pretty well broken up because there's a piece of jacket, there's a piece of jacket, that's a little piece of lead, there's a couple little pieces of lead. I think the bullet was pretty well broken up by the time it went into the table, but there's no exit hole. So I think it broke up and it just got a bunch of pieces down there into the wood. But now that you see how easy it is to do something like that, because I couldn't see the hood in my scope at all. I was looking back there at the hillside when I shot, and yeah, it went right in. So be very cognizant of that if you're shooting over your hood. And you can look on YouTube and you can find videos of exactly what happened right here. I've seen where people accidentally shot their hood. I just was lucky enough to see this one happen in person. And this really sad thing is this may not have been like a brand new truck, but it was brand new to him. He had bought it only a month beforehand, and he had not even made his first payment on it yet. So luckily he had a good sense of humor and was able to laugh about it until he called his wife. Then there was a little less laughing. His grandfather was with him. He was sitting in the front seat, and he seemed to think that was about the funniest thing he'd ever seen in his whole life. And I got a kick out of that because Grandpa had no sympathy for grandson shooting his own truck. He was getting a good kick out of it. Anyway, now that we've seen how easy it is to do on accident, let's shoot it with a bunch of stuff on purpose, because obviously 270, that hood doesn't have a chance. So we're going to set this up. We're going to go get some lighter caliber stuff and work up from there. Be right back. Alright, so I'm going to leave the camera here looking down on the hood so you won't see my ugly face in frame. I'll step back and crouch down. Starting with 22 long rifle, 38 grain American Eagle. I had 2 rounds in that 50 round box, so I went ahead and put them both in there. So we're going to go ahead and shoot this twice. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this one went ahead and ricocheted out. It split the aluminum but didn't go in. This one actually went inside. So it already looks that even with a glancing blow, your chances of the 22 long rifle of going through are pretty good. So that aluminum hood really isn't protecting a whole lot. We were very lucky when he shot his while we were out in the middle of nowhere and like an hour from cell phone service, that we found a flake of jacket resting on top of his radiator. Nothing under the hood got damaged, thankfully. A little bit more of a downward angle, he probably would have had a ruptured radiator, and he would have been just as broken down as we were. But that was interesting seeing what the 22 will do, that it's already not a great chance it'll survive. Alrighty, up next, gun we haven't shown on the channel in a while, Kel Tec Pmr30 with a 30 grain Hornady Varmageddon, I think it is, or VMAX, something like that. Let's see what the 22 mag does. Oh yeah, that just blasted right through, no problem. And we're going to try to keep track of what's what, so we flip over the hood and we take a look when it's all done and see what it looks like underneath. Up next, 9mm. Alrighty, up next, my Polymer 80 Glock 34 build. We've got 147 grain hollow point, 9mm. Let's see what this does. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Even with the hollow point, that didn't stand a chance. I'm gonna try to keep on keeping in a line like this, so we flip it over, it'll be easy to tell what's what. All right, up next, Smith & Wesson M&P with a 230 grain solid cast 45 ACP. Interesting. Now I'll admit I got a little bit lower angle on that. For that 45, it split the aluminum, but it didn't go in, and that went ahead and ricocheted up the hill somewhere. That's pretty cool. All right, up next we got my Kimber long slide target 10mm. I've customized it a touch with 147 grain solid cast lead 10mm. Let's see what this does. Woo! That's easily the biggest hole yet, including the 270. You know, there's a reason I like 10mm. Heck yeah. Alright, up next is my Ruger GP100 357 Magnum with 158 grain Hornady XTP. Let's see what this does. So you can't see this in camera. Let me move the camera a little bit. You can see my bowling pins over there. One knocked over. I don't know if I hit the stand or if the ricochet went up and hit the bowling pin. I did shoot a little further forward with that 357 than I did with the other ones. But yeah, that just plowed right through. That's pretty funny. All right, we're gonna keep moving up. All right, up next, Smith & Wesson 629 3-inch barrel. People think I'm crazy, but this is literally my almost everyday carry gun. I have several guns that I carry, but I carry this one more than anything else. I know, it's overkill, 44 mag for a carry gun, but it's so stinking pretty. It carries nice. I love the holster I have for it. And when I'm carrying it with 44 special rounds. But here we've got a 240 grain soft nose 44 Magnum. Let's see what this does to this thing. Oh yeah. Stood no chance against the old 44. Well, we have one more round to go up to, and I think the results are going to be devastating. Let me go grab it. All right, last but certainly not least, my Smith & Wesson 500, shooting a 700 grain hard cast bullet. This thing is easily one of my favorite guns to shoot, and one of my most punishing. Let's see how bad it punishes the hood. Yeah, I'd say the 500 Magnum managed to make it through. Let me go set this thing down. We'll flip this hood over and take a look at the real carnage. Alright, we got it flipped over here. Let's take a look. Now, here was the original 270 accidental hole. Here was our 270 hole. These are the 222 long rifles. You can see they just split it. This one entered. Here's 22 mag. Went up and actually split it there. Looks like part of the bullet went under and went to there. Here's where our 9mm came through. Looks like some of it squeezed out from underneath there. And this is right in line, so this looks like this kind of like ramped up. Here's our 45 ACP. There's our 10mm. That thing was quite impressive. You know, that could have been from the 10mm, possibly. That may, yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, moving on there. Let's see. 357 Magnum was here, came out there, ramped up there, and then went in there. And then there's a dent all the way at the end of the hood. Here's our 44 mag. Blew through there, blew through there. And then our big old 500 went through here, didn't touch anything until it got all the way up here, but then it blew out the front too. So here's where one clipped it. I think that was the 44 clipped it right there. Pretty impressive. So So as you can see, just about any caliber is going to go through that aluminum hood, even with a glancing blow. Half of our 22 long rifles made it all the way through, even on a glancing blow. So really, they're just protecting your engine from rain. That's about it. It's not going to protect against a whole lot else. But you know, it was fun. It was just for fun, and you know, it was, you know, actually seeing this happen in real life was interesting. You know, I've heard about it happening. I've seen some YouTube clips, but actually seeing it happen was kind of interesting. And then we thought, you know, we've got a perfectly good truck hood, except for it's got a bullet hole in it. Let's put some more bullet holes in it, because why not? But I think I can slap some Bondo on here and just kind of buff this out, and this should be good to go again. Probably offer this similar level of protection, right? Anyway, that was kind of fun. For those of you stuck around to the end, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.